Now I think I am. I am doing it. Okay, I'm trying to work out some kinks. Fletch Explorers, Hoosier Squatch, SoCal, Susan. Good, so I definitely am live. All right, so I got me a green screen by using a blue tarp back here. Pretty cool. Now just a floating head, and I got some lights in here too. Floating head. That's not what I wanted to do. What's going on? What do you want to talk about tonight? Screen sharing. I got some new. There we go. Hang on. Stand by. There are some boogers. Stand. Man, that light is too bright. Showed up for the pie. We done ate all the pie. You better show up earlier. This is pretty cool. I like this a lot better than OBS. I like the backgrounds and everything. And I've got something else up here too. Hang on. Yeah, I got lost in the. I always get lost in the woods. Oh, Prime. I don't know. I was just wanting to check this out and see what's going on. I probably shouldn't have wore the blue shirt. Do I know if the Taylorsville Wildlife Management Area? I've never been there. I don't know if they've got buggers, but you got to be careful with them buggers because they seem to be everywhere nowadays. I try not to get around them. Well, thank you. Yeah, you like this, Bob? I got me a fancy green screen. I got it free from this green screen was gotten free from Harbor Freight. I went in and bought some tools and got a free tarp with it. So pretty good green screen, fresh out of the package. Especially not the ones behind you. Now this is from a site called wrong side. This is from a site called Them and Us, and it's supposed to be what I think Neanderthals look like or whatever. And these are what we call wood boogers, not buggers. Buggers is a totally different thing, guys, and something I don't want nothing to do with. Look it up. No, I, don't, I used to give him whenever I first started. Got on YouTube and watched all these videos. People was having results out of peanut butter, and I tried using the peanut butter, and I did get results out of it. One of my coolest stories is because of leaving peanut butter out, but I no longer do that. If I do anything, it's going to be more of a natural food that they could get by themselves, maybe like a treat every once in a while, like I left the tangerine this last time. But peanut butter, you never, humans have allergic reactions to peanuts. Some humans do, so we don't know if boogers are going to do that. So I try not to do that. I try not to feed a whole lot. If I do leave something out, it's more of a out of a respect type deal, not something that I will uh, be seen as a food source. I think it's a bad idea. Definitely, I mean, as far as like chocolate or sweets, anything sugary foods, that's bad too because boogers they can't just go to the dentist. And once a wild critters teeth are gone, and they're done. Yeah, so this Butterfingers, I mean, I'm sure they do. Who doesn't like a good Butterfinger? But you got to think, they don't. They're a wild critter. They don't have a good dental plan or anything. So if their teeth rot out, pretty much if you're getting that stuff, their teeth rot out, you're basically starving them to death later on. I don't think it would be good for them. Plus, they're not used to sugars. They could get a sugar high. So if you're going to give something natural, berries that they could get on their own, or apples, or something like that. I suggest you don't gift, and if you do gift, then gifting food, then don't do it a lot. Don't because you don't know how they think. They could rationalize, well, this guy brings food, therefore we relate him as food. And then, like what happened here was a case of whenever it all started here, I started noticing things going on. It was a case of accidental habituation, and they were coming in and getting the dog food. And whenever that got cut off, that's whenever it really hit the fan here, like with the house slapping and just aggressive behavior on their end. So, and I cut that food source off. I'm not sure if that was, I think that had something to do with it. Plus, we had the logging done, and both of those events happened about the same time. So, I'm not really sure what really set him off to being so aggressive. But uh, making yourself known as a food source to a wild critter is not such a good idea, in my opinion. Hello, Quinn. Hang on, I got another one of these. Here's there's a good one. Patty, right? There, oh, there, yeah. All right, there's Patty peeking behind me there. Damn, Pop won't stay with. Yeah, I figure they don't like having it logged. I mean, but again, it was it was that or just have our trees pretty much go to waste because I like this one. I feel like a big foot in this one. And just having our trees go to waste because they were dying out and rotting anyway, our oak trees. And we try to get the selective logging, the logging company that we went with. We should have shopped around a little bit better. They were pretty disrespectful, but they didn't take down everything. It's just, I don't know. I'm now trying like a property management. Hello, Cindy. So I talked to Jeff earlier on Messenger, whenever messaging about the green screen. He's where I got this idea from. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do like cinnamon. I'm sure they do like all that. But you got to think about it. Just in terms of, if they're eating a lot of cinnamon and stuff and they can't clean their teeth or whatever, that sugar's going to decay their teeth. I just think it's a dangerous practice to feed them in general. And then if you go and feed them a bunch of sweets and stuff, I think that could possibly kill them. I mean, that's the way I see it. Oh, Mark, check this out, Mark. I don't know if you're still using the OBS, but this you can have up to 6 people in this at StreamYards. It's pretty cool. I like it. You can screen share and everything with that too. I'm just messing around with it. I gotta. Here, I'll stop my screen. The green screen to show y'all what I've done. There. Yeah, I just got a tarp hanging up behind me. It is pretty cool, and you can put whatever picture you want behind you. I like it. It's a lot better than OBS. You don't get all that buffering and all that mess either. I like this a lot better. Ain't that a sexy looking feller? Good night. Yeah, everybody was live. I was wanting to do this earlier, but man, everybody went. Oh, this Mark, this is simple. It's simple. It's a lot easier than OBS, which you do a good job on the OBS. I really like how you got your set up. But you might want to check this out too. It's pretty cool and it's very simple. It's a lot easier than OBS. You don't have to do the stream key or dial anything in or all that. It's a lot easier, which is good because I'm a simple minded person. It's got the live chat in this. I mean, you're using all one screen. You can invite people on. I think it said just now you can have up to 6 people on here. Hey, brother, I just want you to know that I respect what you're doing. You have put together some great pictures and videos. The documentary you did was great. Well, thank you. All I'm doing is I don't consider myself a researcher or anything. Bigfoot was not on my radar at all. All I'm doing is trying to share what's going on around here and just the experiences that I have. Maybe try to get it out there to help other folks that might have similar things going on in their areas. That's a good idea, Pappy. That might be something I do next. I have to dye my beard blue to be easy as white. I could probably do that pretty easy. Oops, wrong one. Are they always around my place? No, they're not. I think they've got like a big circuit. Like I don't know how many miles diameter it is, but I suspect I'm gonna say around 20-25 mile circuit around here. And they show up here and stay 2, 3, 4, 5 days, just depends. And I think a lot of it all depends on several different factors. Like right now, it's winter time, so they have to move around a little bit more for food. If they was to stay here, let's say if they stayed here on this 200-acre farm, there wouldn't be a deer, a squirrel, a nut, leaf, anything left. I mean, these are huge critters, so I think they have to move around just to keep themselves fed. Because if you've ever hunted and you go to a spot and you keep going to that spot and you first get there and you start seeing deer and stuff, but you're leaving your scent there and you're leaving evidence of you being there. Uh, Maybe you've been spotted by the deer, whatever. Those deer will stop coming around there. It'd be the same thing with boogers. They would, all the game would run away. Nobody's going to stick around with something trying to eat them all the time. So no, they're not always here. But I started keeping count again on my calendar. And whenever I did this before, it seemed like it was every 3 weeks they would be back here and they would stick around for sometimes up to 5 or 6 days. And if they're close by and I'm outside and sometimes I'll do calls and I know I'm not fooling nobody or whatever, but I have got results from doing the calls. And I think what it is letting them know that I'm here. Then I think they've got great senses of hearing and all that, and they probably know the difference in my truck and all that. And they've come over, I think, just to mess around and to mess with the stupid human, make me run around the house like a crazy person. I mean, I can buy that mission. We don't know, but you see what I was talking about, Bob? Yeah, no buggers around. But yeah, 10 miles for one, and like I said, it was every 3 weeks. So, and the group here in one season, one full year, I found one, two, three, four, five, seven. I think 7 or 8 tracks all in one season. So that gave me an idea of how many I was dealing with in this family unit. So I'm guessing it was between 6 and 8 that I have in this family unit. Now I'm not sure about now. I haven't really found any tracks together in a while. A couple, but not like that. That one time I found four in one spot, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, anybody that's hunting knows if you keep going to the same spot, and this, I mean, it's like that with deer or turkeys or whatever. If you get busted a deer seizure or whatever, say you shoot a deer, and deer herds ain't coming back around there, they're gonna be a lot. They're gonna be weary of the area, anyways. I used to be able to sit out here and like driving home at nights. I would drive home after dark, and being if the deer were out feeding, I could tell if the boogers was gonna be around by watching them up here in the bottom, up in my bottom. And if them deer were standing out towards the middle of the bottom and kept watching up toward the hillsides and stuff, then I would usually have action because they would usually deer whenever they're feeding, they stay on the perimeter of like a field or whatever. They get to where they can bounce into the wood line. These deer weren't doing that, and I think that's why. Coronavirus. Bailey, I think they're friends with Bailey. Honestly, do, but I think it's where she don't bark a lot and she's just a friendly, happy-go-lucky dog. And, I found her. They put flowers and stuff in her collar before, and she'll. And I had another female dog that what done this too, but they would get all happy and wag their tail and take off up on the hillside like their buddies were there. But I've had other dogs, like a couple of pups that someone dropped off here. Well, they got took out of a kennel I had them in. I think the boogers got them, but they was loud dogs. And I was dog sitting one time. My sister's uh, dog never shuts up. It's a basset hound, and all it does is bark. Well, they actually pushed in my window, and I don't know if they were messing with the dog or what they was doing, but garlic in the campfire for what? And I probably missed something here. I've had results from garlic here. Yeah, I put garlic out for them before. They seem to have liked it. And then if you believe the Carter Farm story, the Janice Carter said that they would come up to get garlic off of her, and I think there's a lot of truth to that story myself. I think it's like anything else in the Bigfoot community. Someone gets good evidence or has a good story, and then all these haters come and bounce and trounce all over it like they're paid to do it or something. It's so weird. It's like the DNA study. I think that was a legit thing. Legit thing. Hello, Sissy. So what happened whenever you put the garlic in the campfire, Mark? Never thought of that. I've heard about people cooking up bacon and stuff. I mean, who don't like bacon in the campfire? We've actually tried it up here. We did a what was it, ribs in a smoker up there. We had activity that night when my friends were here. I kind of missed what he was talking about, the documentary. I don't know what he was talking about. I missed that part. I was watching another live stream at the time, I guess, whenever he talked about that. What were the things that he was talking about? Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's another thing with game cams too. You know, you take and you stick a game camera out in the woods, and even if you hide it or whatever, and you know, it's if you ever put one out for deer, it takes a deer a couple of days to get used to that. And the boogers, totally on a different level than deer in its thinking, and they're going to smell the game cameras. I mean, it's not only the hour light, something strange is right there in their living room now, but it's going to have human scent all over it. So, I mean, maybe if you can try to control that human scent or whatever, maybe rub it down with some garlic or skunk spray or something like that to try to control that. Might help on game cameras. I don't know. I use game cameras to keep them away. Yes, I am a YouTube professional and also a booger expert. Actually, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is actually really, really easy. There's some other stuff over here that I want to check out one of these days. I don't know what brand is. So if this stops, then uh, shoot, oh, that just changes that. That changes that. Make it green. Ah, so you can put banners on this. That's pretty cool. Or if you can use it with the, whoops, there we go. So really cool. I was cooking bacon, fish, garlic, and onions and potatoes in camp. It's probably a conversation I've missed. Yeah, I'm going to try to go. I'm going to try to be there. Figure out this banner. Maybe I'll try to figure that out later. I'm going to run my online. Yeah, it is a new toy. I love it. Whenever I go camping, I mean, and I've had the best results going camping, and especially with other people. If you're just out there and you're acting normal, being loud, silly humans, you're gonna use their curiosity against them, and they'll come in and check it out. And I've had a lot better results doing that. Other than like if you get you a campfire, have people sitting across the campfire from each other, and not everybody looking and staring out in the woods, and just talk or take. One time we had a radio, and every time we would hear something, we'd have that radio going, and they'll use other noises to mask their noises. We would mute that radio, and everybody would be quiet, and you'd catch them up just about every time out in the woods camping. They're just talking and have a word like "shut up," and everybody goes quiet, and you can catch them up making noises. But yeah, just acting. I mean, just acting normal is one of the best things to do. Yeah, I hear that. I mean, yeah, I understand that mission. Who's the celebrity? How many people are coming to that, Mark? Do you know, roundabout? And LBL, if anybody's not been there, it's an absolutely beautiful place. It's like more like rolling hills. It's not like the mountains here. It's more like rolling hills, and they're not too bad to get around. There are some. I mean, some of them's pretty good size, but it's absolutely a beautiful place, and it's huge. I couldn't believe how big it was. Oh, normal. Just be yourself. Talk, laugh it up. Just act, act normal, but just be observant. Be aware of what's going on around you. I gotta grab something to drink. I need to try to get a. Man, that's real good. I need to try to get a guest on here. I see how that works. But I mean, we've noticed here before, like when the planes go over, they'll use that noise to mask their movements. I mean, they're just really smart about it. They're masters of concealment, masters of moving around. Sometimes, I mean, what trips me out is they will let you know sometimes they're there. Like one sound like a bull up there in the woods, just thrashing and breaking limbs and everything else to let me know it was there. But other times I'll be out there, and I used to do a lot of just sit around and read and listen. And one would come right in and then make like a whoop, or that one that screamed that time. Never did even hear it coming in. It was so crazy. They can be very quiet too. They're very good at what they do. What part of West Virginia? Good night, Cindy. Another real pickle. Not sure what that means. I think D's stomach was hurting her. Fayette County. Nice. And I don't know if you answered, Mark. Y'all have any idea how many supposed to be coming to it, Mark? I don't know yet. Never mind. I see it now. Oh, okay. I got you. Just put a thumbs up if it's President Trump. You know what I'm saying? He probably don't want to put it out there. You get it all crowded, then run all the boogers away. Knowing that guy. It could be Donald Duck. I had a blast whenever I was down there the first time. I wanted to go last year, I think, maybe the year before last, I believe it was. You get a chance to do it. It's a great place. Yeah, those girls are they're pretty cool. You're lucky to have them to help you out with all that stuff. And Larry, he's a handful by himself. Hello, Dave. You like my floating head? What, you don't like socialism? They're fearless in the woods. Yeah, yeah, they are. I think that for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, I've got ideas that I'm going to kind of keep quiet about, but for some reason, these boogers seem to women seem to get more action out of them. They seem to get more activity out of them. Love the floating head. Need a dimmer light. No, I haven't caught no weasels. I ain't got nothing in my traps. I'm a terrible trapper, and I don't have an app for it, so I don't know what I want to do. But no more chickens have been killed in the last few days, so I don't know. So here, let's check this out. Let me try a screen share. Yeah, this thing is great. I mean, the volume seems to be good on it, and it doesn't buffer at all. Which I've got it hardwired in, but wired the other one in too. Let's see if I'm doing this right. You can screen share with it. Yeah, there we go. Look, I'm doing it. This is a good site. It's got some pretty good information on it. Late Bobby Short. It's got a lot of good information on it. I like it. How many years have I been researching? I mean, a few now, about what, I guess going on 5 now. But things went on for a while before I even started my channel. I mean, a lot of stuff. And I didn't have any, I still had a flip phone. I didn't have no cameras or anything. I didn't even have a computer or anything back then. Uh, so yeah, I guess around 5 years now. 10 years younger, really? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have a camp out here this year. I think I might have some friends coming down one point this year. We've talked about it anyway, but I don't know. I want to get out and travel around and check out different places, like going to the LBL, and then I want to go back to uh, okay, what's it called, Red River Gorge. That place was awesome. Then I'm thinking about going over. It's a guy's got a homestead over there close to Red River Gorge, and it's supposed to be virgin timber, like old growth timber, and he's got a lot of the rock formations and rock houses and stuff around there. And the guy's a preacher, and I would like to talk to him again. Um, I think his folks live there on the farm, and he's working up in Ohio. But we're going to try to meet up, and I'm pretty excited about that. If nothing else, I want to see the old growth forest. I mean, that's exciting to me, and check all that out. So yeah, and it's close to Red River Gorge. Like I said, he's got a lot. He sent me a bunch of pictures and stuff. It's good night, Susie. What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to try to. Yep, Bigfoot encounters. It's got a lot of good information on there. Like I was looking for the one. Let me see if I can find it real quick. That light is blinding me. Anyway, I read something in here. I don't know where it's at, but it was about the tracks and how you can measure a track. And let's say you found a 10-inch track. You divide the track in half, and that would equal a 5 foot booger, which I found interesting. It's been a while since I read that. I really don't want to tell it wrong. Jan, holler at me, Mark. I can't. I don't see it now. I know it's on here somewhere. If I can find it, I'll screen share so it won't be so boring. Sasquatch and scientists. What's this about? I'll do a bunch of reading, fancy reading. It's working.
Yes.
I've done it now. Well, it's not far from me. I've been to the New River Gorge. My dad used to work around it in the coal mines. It's a nice place. Talk about rugged. Rafter area of the cave. Yeah, the first time I was in there, it did. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, all right, Big Mark. I'll probably go over to the Red River Gorge. I mean, that's not, but a little over an hour away from me if I don't get lost. Yeah, definitely. Next time y'all go, holler at me. I'm up for it. Yeah, it smelled like some kind of wet critter whenever I went in there the first time, which I think it was just there, to be honest. I mean, it was just, I wished I would have brought my FLIR with me. And that way I could find any heat signatures or whatever on the rocks or where it bedded down. Tennessee. Yeah, I'll leave a link, Dave. This has got all kinds of good stuff in it. Bobby Short was, I mean, she did a lot of researching. Where's it at? So today I found a. I might be able to post a link in here. Let me try that. There you go. There it is, Dave. Oh, were they? I tell you, another wealth of knowledge is back if you go into some of the old forums and look around, poke around in the old forums and stuff. There's all kinds of information in there too. Amy in Kentucky. Oh, really? I have to check that out. Red River Underground. Do that. Some of these I won't allow you to click on anymore. Don't know why. I don't think anybody really likes Panthers in the dark. That wouldn't be nice. Yeah, this woman, she put together a great website just for some information and stuff. I've dug through it years ago. I dug through it 3 years ago, I guess. I guess a lot of this has been took off of it though now. Used to have all this in here. Cable film. That one's fake, Dave. Here it is. I got this one. I'm not in screen sharing. Hang on. You're not orphan. Yeah, I just wanted to try this out. I probably won't even upload this video. Yeah, I need to get up with you, Omni Dragons, one of these days. I like it over there in Ideas Way. Lots of rock houses. It's actually a creepy video, though. Anyway. All right, guys. I guess that's it. I want to try out my fancy green screen, my floating head. Pretty cool. But we'll try to. I want to try to get someone on here one night, maybe next weekend or something, and do a proper video. I'm working out the kinks of all this. Yeah, dig through there, Dave. There's all kinds of good stuff, and I mean, she didn't fluff anything. You know, if she thought it wasn't real, she'll tell you that and give you the reasons why and stuff like that. I mean, And some of the old forums, I'll try to get some links to them and send them to you. You can dig through those the old Bigfoot forums, all kinds of good information in there. I had an encounter on my mom's reservation when I was young. Then again, when I was 50, changed my life. Yeah, it sure does. Hells bells. I mean, it really, yeah, it changed my life too. I mean, I hunted my whole life and everything, and had no idea these things were real until it all started happening here, and even like I went a year with stuff going on, uh, longer than a year, stuff going on, and it actually took me seeing one to be 100% convinced. And then, I mean, it just gets you thinking. It's the government's lying about this. They're saying this isn't real. Yet here you've seen one, they're real, and you're just a poor old normal person, and they've got all the money and the manpower and all that. They have to know it's real. So why they lie about it? You know what I'm saying? Good night, Sissy. Again, I thought you went to say good night a while ago. Weirdo. But yeah, I mean, it makes you question a lot of other things. And we've been lied to about a lot of things. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Appreciate y'all jumping on. Like I said, I probably won't upload this, but I wanted to let's try something real quick before I do it. There's something called. Let's see if we can create a. Oh, gee. See how this does. Ah, look at that. Ah, check this out. I got a banner. That is awesome. Brilliant. Oh, Dave, they're hiding a lot of stuff. Number one, let me tell you something. Number one, you can't trust anything you see on TV. Nothing on the news. They're lying about a lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff. I mean, it's so. Why? I mean, that's up for debate. But they're hiding a whole lot of stuff. Personally, myself, I think they push an agenda in the mainstream that's called evolution, and I think that Bigfoot, giants, stuff like that, totally picks that evolution deal apart. So that's why I think they one of the main reasons they hide it, and then of course money and such. But I mean, it's just I don't know. If it was just to keep people from panicking, then why would they talk about terrorism, or why would they talk about the whatever the coronavirus and stuff? You know, if it's just for to keep people from panicking, that makes no sense to me because they sure to have enough fear pouring out there to make people panic over different stuff. So I think I don't think that's part of it. But anyway, well, Dave, here's a good rabbit hole to go down. Look up giants. Okay, look up giants and what's going on with the history of giants. I mean, I can send you all kinds of links and stuff to watch, but it's better if you do it yourself. Go down that rabbit trail and just look up giants and all the bones and all the giant skeletons. Look up giants and old newspaper clippings and stuff. They used to talk about it, but now it's they don't talk about it. They hide it. MK Davis recently on Facebook was doing a thing where he went to the Lovelock Cave. They had a museum over there with a giant skull in it. Well, now that skull's gone. It's hidden. They hide this stuff. And Nephilim, well, I mean, it talks about in the Bible in several places about giants, and yeah, they were Nephilim, and descendants of Nephilim. So, and I'm not saying Bigfoot's that because I honestly I don't think that's what Bigfoot is. I think it's another creature uh, created by God. But the Nephilim were the results of the fallen ones, the fallen angels, uh, having sex and with human women and giving birth to giants, like the Greek, what are they called, the pantheon, whatever their gods, all that, Zeus and all that. I think that's true history. Yeah, the green screen is awesome. Do y'all use it, Carrie? Man, I got me a ticker on here and everything. Yeah, I mean Google giants and newspaper clippings and go down that rabbit hole, dude. It's a good one. It's fun if nothing else. It's very interesting. They used to write it up. I mean, and then they got somehow the Smithsonian or something like that. Some uh, mainstream deal like that gets involved, and then things go to missing, and it's just they don't want it out there. Hey, all I got, Carrie, for mine, check this out. And I think I might get a sheet instead. But wait, I'm doing it wrong. Oh no, I'm not. But all I got on this one, you can either get blue or green, and that's just a tarp, like a $5 tarp. You can download whatever picture you want in behind it. It's pretty cool, man. I like it. I like it a lot. Still got to figure some of this stuff out. Oh, it's the same thing. Private chat. Why would you have that? Green t-shirt material. Well, this, I think if I got like or even if I smooth this out, it wouldn't have like, I'm sorry, camera's backwards too. Wouldn't have that in it. Little lines and stuff. But I think a sheet would do better. I get a big sheet, like a blue or green sheet, and it would, yeah, it is. I like it a lot better than the other, the OBS I was using. Pretty cool. Anyway, I just want to figure out the rest of it. I guess you can put whatever in the ticker. There's still a lot of wild land out there. Kentucky, for instance, it's just full of it. I mean, you'll have houses scattered like my house up a little holler, and then my closest neighbor's 2 miles away, where there's a lot of woods in between, and there's still a lot of wild land out there. But I think we're hearing more reports and stuff because of like shows like Carrie's is getting people's reports out there and people's opening up. It's becoming more normalized. And I think that's why there's more reports, more people coming out for sightings and stuff. People's becoming more aware. You're not, Carrie. Hello, New Mexico. New Mexican. No, New Mexicana. Sorry. Hard to see if it's light my eye. Let me figure out a better lighting. All right, guys. I guess I'm gonna jump off here too. The next time I want to try with a guest on here. Is it pretty straightforward, Carrie, or I'll talk to you about it later? Yeah, man. If you want, Dave, I'll send you some links to some of that stuff, like I was talking about. But that one website is pretty good, and yeah, it's quite the rabbit hole. Pretty fun. But everybody, y'all have a good night. Thanks for joining, and God bless.